And what is going on, everybody? My name is Travis, and welcome to SF Bay Area Sports Talk. Welcome to another 49ers post-game show. And man, what a game tonight. It did not go how we wanted it to. This was tough. I really felt like we had an opportunity tonight. Um, you know, last week against Seattle in the second half, I really liked how we had started playing a couple drives there, and I thought if we can ride that momentum into the game tonight, see what we can do out there. But the injuries, as we know, this story of 2020 continues to be injuries, unfortunately. And I mean, I could not believe that pretty much all of our starters on offense pretty much were out tonight, other than our offensive linemen. And, when you're missing that many guys, I mean, it really makes it tough out there to go out and produce. And specifically tonight, we could not get the running game going. And as we know, against the Packers last year, that was our winning formula. We had an unstoppable running game. Mostert, of course, we're really missing him. He had that big 230-yard rushing game in the NFC title game. And so, when you're not able to, be efficient running the football, it really makes things tough to get your offense rolling. And yeah, that was kind of a result tonight. And let's get to some comments here to welcome in everyone. Just a tough loss tonight. But I'm still feeling optimistic that this Niners team can get a wild card spot and find a way to get into the playoffs. We got Thomas Granelli in the house. Welcome to the post-game show. Next year, Niners will be a playoff team. And yeah, I get that some people think this Niners team is done. And, I don't believe that. I believe we will come back. And although tonight's loss sucks, but, we'll bounce back strong. And so if we can, again, start getting some of our guys back healthy, then we can hopefully come out there and just compete and play better. We'll see what we can do. We got Christopher Walker in the house. Welcome in to the show. Tough loss, but expected when not only do you have all starting skills guys out, but also the best offensive lineman. Yeah, that is right. Trent Williams, he also did not play tonight. And, the Packers were able to get a lot of pressure on Mullins. They had 15 dropbacks against Mullins. And yeah, Packers this year, they haven't been as good, putting pressure. But tonight, they did a good job of that against us. And I honestly think the game should not have been played, but Thursday Night Football TV rights pushed it. Yeah, I'm with you, Christopher. I was thinking maybe this game might not have been played. The false positive. We didn't know it was that, but with Kendrick Bourne. And so, but yeah, the game was played. And so you had to imagine the TV rights. They weren't going to, I think I heard the probability of the game getting made up was like 0%. So they were going to get this game played tonight. 49ers had heart. I don't believe they quit, but it clearly looked like a varsity versus JV football team out there tonight. Could not have said it any better, Christopher. I agree. With missing all our skill guys, we look like a JV team out there that started to get rolling in the fourth quarter. Had a couple touchdowns there. And so I like that they were fighting there even till the very end. Till the last second, we had a 3rd and goal, and we got in the end zone. So I love that. Even when you're getting blown out like that, try to salvage something out of the game at that point. And so we got Biggie in the house, Seahawks fan here, been a supporter on the channel. Appreciate you checking in. And sorry we couldn't get the win to help your Seahawks. We got Bob Money in the house. Yo, how's it going on? Trying to hang in there. We're going to keep the positivity here. And let's see. Appreciate that. Feel sorry for you guys. I know nobody, in the NFL and is feeling sorry for us in terms of, you don't make excuses, but yeah, we've just been completely decimated by injuries, and it's just been so tough this year. We got David Knight in the house. What is going on, David? Good to see you as always. Hope you're doing well, and I hope everyone's doing great here. We're going to break down this game and talk about everything, and we're going to get into thoughts on Jimmy G and the quarterback situation with the 49ers, Mullins and Befford. We will get into all of that. When Daniel Brunskill is the four-string center, starting close to impossible to get the run game going. Yeah, and the thing is, when the running game is non-existent, it affects everything, because if defenses know you're probably not going to run, they can really play to the pass and really disrupt that rhythm. And yeah, today, look, I love the performance from Richie James. He had a career night tonight. And let's see, I can get his exact numbers because it was crazy. 184 yards, 9 catches. We were seeing him make so many plays today. So that is a positive to take out of this game. I said, before the game that we needed to get, some guys to step up tonight. They would get an opportunity. So let's see, you got Niners fan 97 in the house. Not too mad how we finished the game. Yeah, just like the Seattle game, I liked how we finished. But yeah, this one, in the first half, I thought the defense did all right. Outside of some big plays. But, things really started to pull away from us in the second half. And the game it just got way out of hand there. And just very tough. I think you guys come back, grow up a little, needs to be they come back a little more efficient. Yeah, we definitely can do that. And so, yeah, I know some people think, okay, tanking, why don't we do that? But look, I think this Niners team can still make the wild card. We can get on a nice winning streak and start rallying off some victories. So, look, I'm all for putting it all out there to keep fighting this season. We're not going to give up, and so we'll keep fighting here. Just a tough break. Niners finished strong, but it was garbage points and lack of Packers defense. Yeah, true, but, you're always still playing no matter what and competing out there. Guys are fighting for jobs. And so especially Mullins, unfortunately, disappointing performance for Mullins tonight. And, with Mullins, he's had opportunities and he hasn't been able to take advantage of them. The Eagles game, he struggled really mightily. And tonight, did not do very well. I'm hopeful Mullins can bounce back. But, I think at this point, probably might be time to look at CJ Befford for now in the short term. Because I think we've seen Mullins now a couple primetime games. And let's see, going to get to some more comments here. I don't understand why they didn't put Verrett on Devontae. Yeah, I'm with you. Verrett has been spectacular this year. His story is amazing. What he's come back from, all the injuries. And yeah, he's having a lights out season and unfortunately did give up some plays tonight. But yeah, I feel like he would have been a really good target to cover Adams. And yeah, Adams lit us up tonight. He had, if I pull up the stats here for you, 173 yards. Just tore us up in this game. 4 and 5. I don't think tanking is an issue here. Yeah. So, that's what I think. We keep fighting and, see where we're at at the end of the year. So yeah, appreciate everyone checking in. Yeah, River Crocraft should have caught that ball in the end zone. At least if we had Ayuk, he would have made that catch. Yeah, Ayuk, I agree. He probably would have pulled that in. And, unfortunately with Ayuk, he has to miss the game, because of the Bourne situation. And, really can't predict all that happening in the last couple of days. So really tough break. And yeah, I appreciate the optimism. We got to keep it real. I mean, when everything seems, when your back's against the wall, the greats, they take it in stride. They realize what needs to be done, and this Niners team knows what's within them and the fight that they show. And yeah, tonight they never gave up in this game. So look, we gotta shake this one off, move forward, and yeah, just see what we can do. I mean, I know the schedule is not kind for us right now. Bummer for you guys. Need to get healthy and come back strong. That is absolutely right. And what I'm feeling like we're going to be able to do here. And yeah, I mean, 9-7 or 10-6, I think it can get you in the playoffs as a wild card. So that is our goal right now. And look, if we can get in the playoffs and start putting some momentum together, I feel like we'll be a scary team and no one will want to face us. And we'll be the underdogs maybe. And we'll play with fire. So that's what we got to do. We got to find that spark to get us going through this tough stretch of games. And so yeah, I mean, moving forward with the quarterback situation, we'll get into Jimmy G, and I'll share my thoughts on what I think moving forward for the future. But I want to talk about Mullins and Bedford. Yeah, I think right now, we should take a look at Bedford. I mean, he did lead us back. I believe it was the Eagles game, almost had a comeback win. And I think we've given Mullins his chance, a few games now. And so, yeah, I feel like let's see if Bedford can start igniting this offense here, and we'll see what we can do out there. Yeah, Richie says, Evan L., what a performance. Really interesting. Richie James he was going to be kind of slowly brought back into action tonight, coming back from an ankle injury. But because of all the injuries, I mean, we needed him tonight. And so I loved it, him stepping up like that and performing very well. And so, yeah, I mean, Trevor Lawrence, he is the gift out there. He's the biggest item on the menu. Teams really want to get him for quarterback. So it's going to be an interesting draft. We'll see. I don't know if we're going to be looking to draft a QB next year, or, I think still could be. We'll have Jimmy G as our starter. And so we're going to have to see. Hopefully we snag Israel McConnell. Oh, okay. I'll have to check him out. Haven't heard too much. Niners starting quarterback will be someone that is not on the roster this year. Would put money on that. Niners need new blood. Yeah, it's a tough situation with Jimmy. I mean, I think he can come back strong, and I think it's worth it to give him the $25 million next year, because I think he's proven to us he can win big games. He did it last year, came from behind in big games, led us to the Super Bowl after a torn ACL. You look at his small track record as a starter, he's 32-6 or 32-7, something like that. So I feel like, I don't know if Jimmy will be the quarterback next year, but I'm hopeful, and I hope we get to see him play this year. There also is chance he might get surgery on that ankle. And if he does get surgery on the ankle, then, he'll be out for this year. And so, yeah, Niners, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch and the entire front office, we're going to have to make a tough decision at the end of this year. And it will be tough because, having not been able to evaluate Jimmy Garoppolo, this year, because since week 2, he's basically not been fully healthy. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, and I got faith in Jimmy, and I believe he can come back. But we'll have to see. And so, Let's see. Jimmy is just too inconvenient. I mean, yeah, it's just been tough with the unfortunate injuries that have happened. Yeah, he's not been consistent, and yeah, I just think he's just hasn't been healthy, and so completely different Jimmy than how he was playing last year. And so yeah, we are going to be bringing a guest on to today's post game show. So I am very excited to announce that, and is a good friend of mine. He is a Packers fan, so be nice to him, you guys. But we're going to get his thoughts on the game tonight and get his thoughts on the NFC as a whole, and what he thinks about some of the other teams and what we're going to see. And yeah, so without further ado, we're going to be bringing him on to the show right now. And here he is. Josh, welcome in to the show. So glad to have you here. And I know for you being a Packers fan, you got to probably be feeling pumped about this win. And I know, especially after the loss we handed you guys in the NFC title game, I know you guys had to have probably had this game circled on your calendars, waiting to get this opportunity. And yeah, you guys capitalized tonight. Rodgers, I mean, what a game. He had 305 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. And Devontae Adams stepped up. And then Jones, running back, got going a little bit. And yeah, I mean, Rodgers this year, I think I saw the numbers, 22 touchdowns, over 2,300 yards. And so, yeah, I think Rodgers, the Packers draft Jordan Love and all that. But yes, let's get your thoughts. How are you doing, Josh, today?
I'm doing good. So my name's Josh, of course. I'm the Packer fan. I have a ton of respect for 49er fans, Seahawks fans, whatever it is on this channel. Yes, I did have this game actually circled on my calendar when the schedule came out because I was absolutely I was actually a bit upset after the NFC Championship game, and of course, that stung me in the chest. But I want to say this. I was very impressed with how you guys have overcome the whole Kaepernick thing from like 5 years, or no, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think it's 8 years back in 2012, because I used to be a big 49ers fan, like partially, just only Colin Kaepernick though, if that was it. But I'm actually impressed with the whole organization down there of how good of a football team they've been within almost a decade since 2012. But I love with what we have, games like these where we can have wide receivers, running backs, a really good defense. So these two teams are definitely a great fit, Packers and 49ers. I want to say this. So coming into this game, we came off a tough loss over Minnesota, so I'm sure you guys saw the highlights and all that when we got ran over by Cook. So that put us at 5-2, and then of course I saw your guys' game last week. Travis, what was the team that you guys faced off last week? Was it Seattle?
Yeah, it was Seattle, the NFC West battle.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Because I remember I watched it and I was I definitely had high hopes for the 49ers because I didn't want Seattle to be that top dog still in the NFL. But no, I still had faith in them, and I still do because, I really want to see this 49ers team go all the way to the playoffs just so we can have a rematch in the NFC Championship game.
Oh, man, I would love that.
Oh, my God. I think if we get to that, we might do a stream for that one for sure. So I'll go ahead and kind of familiar with what Travis was saying about the stats. Aaron Rodgers was, explosive and efficient with completing 25 out of 31 passes, 305 yards, 4 touchdowns for a 147.2 passer rating. Devontae, 10 catches and 173 yards and I believe it was a 36-yard bomb. The NFL put it as a bomb, but it really wasn't that much of a bomb. But that was a nice catch. Scantling, he had a drop pass, I believe, and then he had 2 touchdowns. One of 52 yards. So I guess they're saying it was Scantling's first career of 2 touchdown game, but whatever. I mean, he's not that big of a name when it comes to Green Bay, but he is a good target, though. I will say that.
Yeah, he played well tonight. I mean, I think he had a couple catches for 54 yards.
Yeah, but how many
times? Who is this guy? When I saw him making those plays.
I know, but the past games I've seen him play, he always drops a pass, and I get so frustrated. Like, come on, man, you got to catch those. Come on, Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw it that hard. No, anyways, Jones, I was very impressed to see Aaron Jones come back. I never thought he was going to be back in this game for sure, so I was totally thinking, okay, we're not going to have a running game. It was going to be all about passing, but 15 reps he got, and he got 58 yards and 5 receptions. So that definitely helped the Packers drive down the field tonight. Tyler Irving, 72 yards from scrimmage, 24 yards rushing, and 48 yards receiving. So that's pretty good. Yes, we did give up a few big plays on your wide receiver, Richie James, which that guy was a total beast, I'd say. From my first time, that was my first time, to be honest, like seeing Richie James, because I was hoping what was one of the top 49er wide receivers? Because I liked one of them.
Deebo Samuel. Is that maybe who it is? Or Brandon Ayuk?
Yes. Because I liked watching one of your top dogs that you had on the offense. But we gave up a play for that, and of course, Richie James had 9 passes, 184 yards, and a touchdown. So that's truly impressive.
Oh yeah. I was really happy about Richie James' performance, and yeah, he's we needed that tonight, and due to the injuries, and I've always known that he has that potential. And so, yeah, I mean, tonight we got to see him do it. And so I'm really excited about that moving forward.
I think Richie James is going to definitely become a valuable asset to that 49ers offense in the future with how he performed tonight. I could see that, because if you can have a wide receiver that can make like almost 10 catches in a game, and like this guy's name hasn't really been like out so much, like, what I'm saying, like the attention. I think that's going to be a valuable asset to kind of keep an eye on in the future, and then maybe start putting that kid in more often. You know what I'm saying? Kind of.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I mean, also with Kyle Shanahan's offense, like we can use him in so many different ways and to, get value. And so I think that would be huge.
Yeah, I think Kyle Shanahan should look at game situations too. Like if like you guys are driving down the field and some wide receiver gets like a cramp or whatever, they come off the field, then use Rich James for sure. If he performed very well in your previous game, then put him in. So let's see. Preston Smith led to an interception by Raven Green on a flutter ball. Raven Green, is that a wide? Okay, that's a wide receiver. Okay. Zadarius Smith, of course, my favorite guy on the defense. He had a strip sack for the second turnover. So, of course, we had 2 forced turnovers. And I believe one of them was on a 4th down and short. Yes, 4th down short.
And some of those plays really, like they turn kind of the momentum shift, because I mean, the one play, the interception, and the Packers come here back and get a touchdown. Now, I'm gonna get to some comments here. We're gonna get to as many as I can. Apologies to everyone, not trying to ignore the comments here. But
you Niners stuff real quick.
Oh yeah, go ahead. My bad. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I did put on here that the Niners backup quarterback Nick Mullins was 22 of 35 for 291 yards with one touchdown and one interception for a 86.7 passer rating. And then, of course, your running back, the old Vikings running back, which I was very impressed with this trade, but Jerick McKinnon had 12 carries for 52 yards and a score with 4 seconds left in the game. I was very impressed with how he fit Kyle Shanahan's offense in the run game for sure. Like that is like a monster 2.0 if you think about it. Just I like the playing style, how he likes to kind of do this, and I've seen it in his highlight film. He'll start with the ball and he'll kind of jog. I've noticed his speed. He jogs and then he picks up speed and he just starts like trucking through players. And, he's just one of those athletes that likes to kind of use energy consistently, but use it the right way and able to make big plays. I mean, I don't know if that's what you view it, but that's something how I've seen Jerick McKinnon's highlights. So he's not like a big running back like Monsert or like a Frank. Oh my gosh, Frank Gore was like my favorite 49ers running back. I was tempted to buy his jersey, Frank Gore. I was.
Yeah, that does tell you when a guy is that transformational and I mean playing the way that he is. Yeah, I fell in love with football watching Frank Gore. Like my entire childhood of the 49ers is Frank Gore, because I started watching 49ers football in 2006, and so Gore came into the league 2005. So when I sit here and think, basically all the time I've been watching football, Gore has been in the league, and I've been at some of his biggest games. Like I went to the Niners Seahawks, the second to last game at Candlestick Park. I remember Gore torched Seattle that game. We had like 80 or 100 rushing yards, and I remember we won 19-17, and we got into field goal range towards the end of that game and got a big field goal to put us up. So yeah, we're gonna get to gonna have some questions for you, Josh. But before I get to them, I want to get to some comments in the chat. And so let's see here. Appreciate everyone checking in. And as always, guys, always be respectful. I mean, we all know we have opinions. Always appreciate everyone sharing. Let's see. Packers are smart and have had great quarterbacks for 30 years because they plan for the future. They did it with Farr and doing it with Rodgers now, and drafting Jordan Love out of Utah State. Yeah, this is a great take here. And before I get your thoughts on it, I'll just say real quick for me. I agree with this. I think Packers have done amazing. And yeah, I mean, I know there was a lot of fuss about when Jordan Love was picked, and, would that cause some trouble with the Packers? And you've seen this year that has not affected Rodgers. In fact, I think it's motivated him more to kind of prove, continue doing what he does, to say, hey, I'm still playing at a high level and can do this, for several more seasons. And so, yeah, I mean, quarterback is such a key position, as we know, if you don't have a quarterback, it's hard to see a team winning a Super Bowl, because I mean, that's just, you got to have a great quarterback. But yeah, what are your thoughts on how the Packers have done, and what did you think about them taking Jordan Love?
All right, so I'll say this: I've been a Packer fan since 2008. It was, and I was of course like a fourth grader, but they had Brett Favre, I believe, in the last season of Green Bay before he got traded to the Jets. But I'll say this: from the past highlights I've seen of Green Bay, they've had no problems with a quarterback. Like, they've actually been known for having like a really decent quarterback that maybe starts out crappy, but then he turns into like a veteran after first few years. Now, everybody with Jordan Love, and yes, I was one of those people that was like, are you freaking kidding me? But curse word. But anyways, I was one of those people that thought it was a ridiculous pick because Rodgers had 4 years left on the contract, and we all knew that Aaron Rodgers was, of course, a dangerous quarterback. So why are you replacing him? You know what I mean? Like, doesn't make any sense. And we were like close. We were close to the Super Bowl, and then we had to lose you. We had to lose to you guys. So why? I'm sorry. Why does drafting a quarterback? In my opinion, help improve your team? Because I wanted to get Mims. Or I wanted to get Queen. That was our pick that everyone was hoping in Green Bay we were going to get. But then Jordan Love came on the board, and we got him. Now, now that you go back to when you were talking about the Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre era, that actually helped me realize, okay, this pick was not bad at all. Because if we think about this, and I don't know if you remember last year or the year before, but we had potential in Drew Lock. It was the Broncos quarterback. Now, I don't think we should have gotten Drew Lock because I've seen his highlights and he's just shitty in my opinion. But that kid Drew Lock from Utah State, I was watching his highlights like crazy, and that kid's got very, very good athleticism. Like, and he does have like a Patrick Mahomes style a little bit. Like, he has a tight spiral. So I think, in my opinion, when he's on the bench, he can watch Rodgers how he manages the game in really challenging situations, how he can read the coverages super, super well, like a book. Also, being able to get the ball out on time, because if you've seen in the past, but Rodgers can get the ball within 2 seconds when he's on pressure. I mean, I've actually like timed it a few times. There's times where it's 5 seconds, there's like 10 seconds, but the times that the 49ers, like your guys' defense, if you had Nick Bosa, you'd be seeing Rodgers get that ball out of his hands within 2 or 3 seconds. Because I loved watching Bosa come up through the line, and of course he would be in Rodgers' face. And what was that other? There's another 49ers linebacker I loved. Patrick Willis was
Fred Warner.
Yes. Patrick Willis was my favorite. I actually did a senior quote with him. And I loved Brooks. See, I wish the 49ers.
Oh, yeah. Ahmad Brooks. Great. Yeah. Great memories.
The 49ers had a powerful defense like they did since 2012 and last year. But like I said, I'm not saying they're shitty. It's a brand new young team. And it's not the same as what I've always viewed the 49ers as. Because they are, they are a scary team to me. Like, I always view them as a scary team, like that intimidating Green Bay 2.0 team. The looks that everybody, oh my gosh. All right, so the looks everyone says, the Green Bay 49ers jerseys, the helmet, same styles, same strip, the logo design, because you guys have an oval and an SF. We have our G logo, but it's the oval way. And our uniforms, yours is red and white. Well, like gold. Ours is a green and white.
Oh my gosh, that is. And you know why I'm laughing so much right now? Because you're bringing a memory back to my childhood that I've actually thought about sometimes. But this is like before. And again, thank you everyone checking the comments. I'm gonna try to get to as many as possible. So please hold tight. I don't want you to think I'm trying to ignore you here. But trying to keep up. But yeah, I wanted to share the story though. But when I was younger, before I got into football, I was a huge Nintendo fan and loved playing Mario games. And when I was growing up, I'll be honest, I was a huge Luigi fan. For whatever reason, I liked Luigi. Maybe I related to him because I felt like growing up I was like the odd kid. Sometimes I was nervous or I would act weird or sometimes you have this thought in your head, and so for whatever reason, I became a Luigi fan, and the quick shorts. I mean, the point of all that is that I remember seeing a Niner Packer game on my TV, and I think my parents were watching or something, but and I looked at the TV, and all I saw was all red and all green, and I immediately thought Mario versus Luigi, and I thought I'm going with Luigi.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't remember in my head like saying, oh, like I'm gonna go for the Packers or anything like that. I just remember red versus green and Mario versus Luigi. But of course, as I grew up and found out the history of the 49ers, and my dad was a 49er fan, without a doubt, of course, becoming a 49ers fan. But yeah, just you talking about the jerseys like that and how they're similar brought back that memory growing up, from me loving Nintendo.
Oh, and I mean, I was bringing that up because I was watching the other night, and there was a Packers versus 49ers history. They had mentioned their uniforms because there was a oh my gosh, what was it? It was a playoff game in 97, I think. 97, 98, when we had Brett Favre, obviously. And the color combo to me gave me that I don't know why. But it gave me that Christmas look because I think of Christmas, green and red. Okay. Green and yellow and white and red. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, both teams are white, right? Okay. But now you got red and green. That is like a Christmas theme color. And then on top of that, you have gold and you have yellow. Okay. So you take out yellow and white, but you put green and red together. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like a perfect Christmas matchup right there. So I could totally see your point of view right there. But I love the 49ers jerseys and the helmet. Oh my gosh. Like, personally, I would actually get myself a 49ers helmet and a Packers helmet and put them in my room, because that's actually one of my favorite. That's my second favorite rival next to the Vikings and Packers. And I mean, yeah, the Bears and Packers, but I'm not like huge into the Bears because I have much respect for Chicago, but San Francisco has always been my thing, sort of, because the history with great players in Green Bay. This is why it makes it a really good rival, and it's grown strong since the 90s. The 90s is when we were that team that ended your guys' seasons in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, and yeah, you're right. The rivalry is just getting bigger, and I love how you were describing it. And even in my childhood, I remember those 49er Packer matchups in the playoffs. I was in high school at the game, Kaepernick running all over you guys. I remember being so excited for that game, and yeah, just going crazy. I mean, just bonkers. And then the wild card game, in Lambeau, the frozen tundra, and we won on a field goal. Yeah, that game was incredible. And then yeah, we matched up again in the NFC Championship last year. So yeah, it's really incredible, this history. So yeah, I'm gonna get to some more comments. Thank you everyone being patient here, hearing out our stories, and yeah, we're breaking things down, talking 49ers, Packers. Got my friend here, Josh, of course, joining us tonight. We got Niners will be lucky to get to 5-5 before the bye to have a chance at the playoffs. NFC West is too deep this year. Yeah, the NFC West is so deep right now, and yeah, it's going to be tough to do it, but I definitely believe we can do it. And so even if we might not win the division per se, but with the expanded playoffs this year, I still believe this Niners team can get there. Now, I know our next game is against the Saints, and that's going to be very tough. And but we'll see. And
say something real quick.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so my question was, how are the Cardinals on top of the Rams because I kept thinking the Rams were second behind Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew the Cardinals were doing good offensively with Kyle Murray. I'm sorry, Murray. But I always thought the Rams were second because they kept coming off a few wins, but then of course they had those really crappy losses, especially that Buffalo game.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I have two friends that live in Los Angeles, and I was going on their Instagram, and of course, well, they were posting that they were pissed off, and then I'm like, okay, what happened in this game? So then they're telling me, and of course, I see the highlight on TV, and I actually sit there and laugh because I'm like, I didn't think Los Angeles would be that much of a, I don't want to say it's like a choking team.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, well, I think LA, the Rams this year, I feel like, I mean, you look at the season last year, I mean, yeah, complete Super Bowl hangover. And I believe they were dealing with injuries. But I mean, yeah, it's kind of weird because, like, with the 49ers, it's almost like the same thing happened with us as them because, the Rams fell out last year. And then now this year, we're the ones that are not able to stay healthy. But now you're seeing the Rams this year. I did not expect them to be, I think, 5-3 now. And
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, yeah, some games that, they haven't looked good. I mean, like you said, I think the Buffalo game and, we beat them, of course. That was big when we beat them on Sunday night. And
that's fun.
so,
Oh, how come you guys can beat the Buffalo Bills yet the Los Angeles Rams can't do shit?
well, we're playing the Bills actually, but I think I get what you're trying to say there. The how it doesn't make sense sometimes, like any given Sunday in football, so it's like people were handing us the Eagles game, like, oh, Niners caught that in the bag, and it's like we did not execute that game. And so I mean, Rams, give credit to them, so I did not anticipate them bouncing back like that. I thought even maybe they might I thought they might even go into some type of rebuild in terms of like trying to strip the roster down. I think they made some trades last year, but when you got Jared Goff, a great quarterback, you can do some things. And so, yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough in the NFC West. As we know, I think it's the best division in football right now. And
that's what everyone's saying, yes.
So let's see. Going to read some more comments. Let's see. We got JD, Arizona Cardinal fan. Welcome to the show. Christopher Walker saying no pressure from the SF front. Will make for a monster game from any Hall of Fame QB. Drew Brees licking his chops right now, and I am too, with a chance of Michael Thomas back. Okay, yeah. So it's gonna, it's could be rough, very ugly for the Niners next week, especially because I don't know how many guys will be getting back in a week, and our schedule is not getting any easier, and
that game is gonna be a tough one. Like, if you think about it from last year, I wish you guys had a same style as what you had last year, because the Saints and 49ers game was that real deal where it's like going back and forth. Let's do the teeter-totter style. High scoring offense, Breeze, okay, Michael Thomas connection, okay, Jimmy Garoppolo and George Kittle, and holy crap, man, that game was one of the best. And actually, my buddy's a Saints fan, and oh my God, he was on the edge of his seat. I swear, like, I was getting texts on Snapchat, and he was like just getting feisty over you guys. And then he said something about the refs or something helping the 49ers, or I don't know if I think he said at one point that you guys cheated, but it's BS because I've never seen the 49ers cheat, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, how it is. People, I mean, well, look, I don't think there's any cheating really going on. I mean, in the NFL at all. I mean, we know, unfortunately, we don't want to talk too much about, the baseball whole thing. I mean, yeah, real quick on that, I never in my lifetime ever would have thought that we would be in a situation like that. And so, yeah, I mean, I've heard of instances like, oh, refs getting paid up. Some people talk about the 49er Ravens Super Bowl a lot. And like, did the refs get paid up for that game, because the holding call that was never called. And, then, and yeah, I mean, that game also, I've heard people say, oh, Jim Harbaugh let his brother win the Super Bowl there because maybe he thought that might be his only chance for his little brother to win one. And maybe he thought, this Niners team, we can win multiple titles. So, you know what? But I don't believe that. I think you let your brother win in that case. I think you compete all the way through the game. But yeah, I mean, people have different takes on it. But yes. So, I mean, I don't think that games are getting rigged in the NFL because I feel like you have guys competing at the highest level. I mean, to tell a guy to pay them up, I mean, they're making millions. But it's always interesting when you hear the different, takes like that. And yeah, to talk about that 49ers Saints game last year. Yeah. I did a reaction video to it and got a lot of great reactions. So if you guys want to check that out, definitely do so. But man, that was one of my favorite 49er games, regular season wise, ever. I mean, an absolute shootout. You're talking back and forth, touchdown after touchdown. And I believe we won like 49-46 or 49-47, something like that. But it was such a fun game. And I mean, fortunately this year, it's not going to be, I think, as competitive as that game was. But I think, I hope we can turn it around and play. I hope it's a better game than today. If the Niners can, like I said, today through one quarter, I thought we did good. We were just down by 4 to you guys today. And second quarter started to kind of get away from us. But then, yeah, second half, we just, it just got way out of hand. Let's see. We got Phil Make Roch in the house. So welcome to the show. Let me know when Lynch runs the ball at the 1 in the Super Bowl. So yeah, I know we got the friendly banter in the NFC West. We know, I know how it is. Cardinals and Seahawks fans. So yeah, we're all one community. Everyone here, we're the football community, and so always appreciate, always, as long as everyone's respectful, we can have friendly debates. I just remember that I can sit back and watch football without stressing out this Sunday. I'm totally looking forward. Oh man, you absolutely hit the nail on the hammer, Niners fan 97. I was just thinking that today. I mean, yeah, at least on this Sunday, as 49er fans, we can enjoy Sunday. We are going to go 0-0 on Sunday, so we have no way to lose. We can watch football from 10 a.m. all the way to 8 p.m. all throughout the day.
So can Packer fans.
Oh yeah. So same thing with you guys. So yeah, it'll be fun in that sense. And yeah, I mean, look, I'm feeling optimistic. I mean, I know. Yeah. So Matthew's saying got to fix this chat. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to get some moderators. So if anyone is interested in that, yeah, I could not have imagined these chats getting so big. When I first started, I was not dealing with kind of problems with the chat getting out of hand. So, I'm kind of all still new to figuring this out. So please forgive me, everyone. I apologize for over the many streams. If anyone's come in and been disrespectful, this is, as we know, this is a friendly place to be. We love to talk football and break it all down and to, be respectful of everyone. So thank you. Love my Niners, but my fantasy football team is waiting for Michael Thomas, and he should be healthy to tear up a Niners secondary. Oh man, I hope not. But yeah, for your fantasy team, as I know, that would be good for you guys. Let's see. So yeah, I mean, oh yeah, go ahead. Yep.
I was gonna say, I got to get back on the fantasy football. So I have an Instagram page because I'm a football enthusiast. and I mentioned I was going to do breakdowns of fantasy football players and all that. The top fantasy players of each week, because I like viewing players' stats and all that, and I like to see how they perform each Sunday. So, of course, Michael Thomas is absolutely one of my favorite wide receivers I'd want to have on fantasy. Um,
Yeah,
Emmanuel
he's a beast.
Sanders too was one of my favorite ones.
Oh yeah, it was tough for me to see Sanders go. I loved the pickup when we got him and was pumped.
Yeah.
And he started to produce right away, even against the Saints. He tore the Saints up. So I had to imagine the Saints were like, "Yep, we're gonna sign this guy. We're not gonna let him." We saw what he could do against us, and yeah, I thought when the Saints got him, it was a huge pickup for Breeze to have another weapon there.
Well, of course. I mean, because that whole New Orleans program is all about throwing the ball. I mean, it's not. You remember back in 2010 how the Saints used to be that, okay, it was a hardcore running team because they had Reggie Bush.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
the Saints? So before the 49ers were dangerous, the early 2000s, I'd say if NFC wise, you would always think the Giants was tough. Well, of course, Packers, the New Orleans Saints. Not so much on the Seahawks, because the Seahawks were not that they were not that dangerous in the after their Super Bowl in 2006 against Pittsburgh Steelers. They pretty much went downhill. They completely went downhill. But I'd say it was, of course, the Saints was a big one because of after Hurricane Katrina. They became a strong team. The 49ers, oh my gosh, I will say this. The 49ers, they did actually start becoming a strong team, but it wasn't consistently a team that would always be in the playoffs. I think it was like every other year I'd see that team in the playoffs, because I remember seeing highlights on TV and they would show the 49ers. But 49ers was tough. Packers were tough. The oh my gosh, the Chicago Bears were shockingly actually they were actually pretty good. The Detroit Lions,
the 2000s, right? You're talking about?
yeah. Like I want to say like the mid 2000s, because like from 2005 to 2010 or 11, but
oh yeah,
some like what I mean, those in between those years, that was all. It had to be all Saints, because Saints was always that tough team. But the 2010 season, though, when they had that Super Bowl run, they were that team that that became the running team before it was all about passing. But Breeze actually showed New Orleans that, hey, you know what? I got a huge arm, like a huge cannon in my arm. And the fact that he could turn that whole team around himself, it was legit Drew Brees that brought New Orleans back on its foot.
Oh yeah.
No kidding. But Sean Payton gave him the opportunity to design the offense. So Brees took that offense and he made it a passing / mix run type. How do I know this personally? It's just because I have studied the Saints films and I've seen their play calls and all that. I can tell if it's going to be a pass or if they're going to run it, down the middle or an option. You know what I mean? But
yeah, sometimes you see how the defense is set up, and you make reads, and yeah,
they were so good at knowing game situations too. I mean, I've never seen one game where they actually made a really like dumb call back in those days. But like up to today, they make dumb calls at times. But back in that time, the Saints were absolutely a team that knew how to pass and go down a field. So they were definitely a dangerous team.
Yeah, man, really appreciate that take, and yeah, I agree with you. When I think back to that Saints team in you're right. They were a power run with Reggie Bush, and
Yes.
Drew Brees comes in and really redefines that offense. And man, and I think now him and Brady keep going back and forth between breaking that record for most touchdowns. So I really give Brees credit. I think also in college, I think he was doubted a lot. They said I think maybe he was too short or something, or there's a lot. Even Kittle, believe it or not, they said he wasn't big enough in college, and so you hear these stories of these guys, and it's just incredible how they go from people doubting that they could even get to the league to now becoming stars in the league. Those stories, really awesome.
I remember hearing a small clip about George Kittle and the fact that he was too short or something like that. And I don't know if you remember Jimmy Graham too, but Jimmy Graham had a similar situation as well.
Mm-hmm.
He was told from people that he was small or whatever, but I didn't think Jimmy Graham would get told that he was short, because Jimmy Graham coming into the league in 2011 he was a monster. I mean, everybody thought that kid was like a basketball player, in which he was a basketball player, because they actually found out later. But I will say this: the one player that kind of struck me most was Russell Wilson, because the whole draft, everybody in the draft, when they drafted Russell Wilson in like I think it was the third round or something, or fourth, but whatever it was, everybody said he's way too short. He is way too short to be the quarterback for Seattle. And then, holy crap, did he bring Seattle back up on its feet? He personally made the Seahawks the team that they are now, like dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
He brought that quarterback mobility style. And of course, he had that Kaepernick style. That's why, if you guys remember seeing the Madden 25 commercials, and it always had Russell Wilson and Colin Kaepernick going at it. The Duracell commercial.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Defense. That was the defense. It didn't show Colin Kaepernick running. It showed Wilson scrambling. But still, though, I mean, if you guys think about it, look at how much Seattle improved from the early 2000s to 2012 to now, like 8 years. From 8 years ago till now, holy crap! Have they
I know.
a dangerous team?
Yeah,
and the Marshawn.
My bad. Go ahead there.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so good. Yeah. I was gonna say you're right. And yeah, the Seahawks got to give credit to them. And yeah, I remember when I started watching football in 2006. I remember the one year, I think it was when the Seahawks got in the playoffs as a 7-9 team, something like that, and they beat the Saints. That was a shocker, that game. And so yeah, I mean, when they got Wilson, they really changed the culture there. And you're right, the last 8 years, and the Seahawks have been one of the top teams in the NFC. They've made several playoff appearances and a couple Super Bowls, winning one. And so yeah, I mean, although when you look at the whole history as a whole, they only have one Super Bowl. Lately they've been a dominant team, and so obviously, me being a Niner fan, I despise the Seahawks. So but yeah,
I'm not.
Got to give credit to.
Not trying to like bash the Seahawks stuff into you guys. I know you guys hate the Seattle Seahawks. I'm just impressed with how Seattle has turned the table since 2000. Well, like 2011, but I mean 2011 was good. But 2012 was when they absolutely rised up, and they brought the actual 12th man, because I think before I never knew the 12th man until 2012, because they changed their whole uniforms. Their uniforms is kind of what caught my attention at first, because I was like, what the heck are these? But then until it said Seahawks, I was like, what the? It looked like some kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to say this, but it looked like some kind of like racing style, because the helmet strips on the back or something had some kind of like checkered flag a little bit. So I was like, what the heck is this? But it was Seattle Seahawks. So I was like, oh, the Seahawks got some nice like jerseys. But that brought out the 12th man because they actually started putting the 12th man throughout the field. What's it called? I forgot the stadium name.
Like the same that with that or
Westfield or no? Because they brought out the 12th.
Wait. Oh yeah, something like that. I mean, it's a big thing that that they started there, and I mean, as Niner fans, what was it?
Yeah, it's CenturyLink Field. Yes, that. Oh my gosh, that's part of the reason why I started liking the Seahawks as my third team, because the culture. Holy crap! Could you imagine coming out of that tunnel and you had almost like 80,000 fans? That entire field is shaking. Like,
oh yeah,
holy shit! I've even read
it's the way that they built that stadium. To be honest, because they like built it to where it like narrows. Like basically, you contain like how my hands are. Like the noise, all it does is like it can't go anywhere. Basically, it's all contained right there, and it transfers down. And that's why I think in Seattle the visitors, they have the most false start penalties. And so don't want to get too much into or I want to get to some comments here. I really apologize everyone. Whenever I have a guest on, I tend to kind of make sure I'm going through with the guests, and so let's get to these comments here. So
football so
we're having great conversations here. So let's see. So JD, the Arizona Cards fan, welcome in. Been watching since 2003. Man, that is awesome, dude. Man, a lot of history.
Since when I was young. I've seen the Cardinals versus Packers, which I wasn't like deep into the Packers in 2009, but whenever I see that highlights, if I was a huge Packer fan, I would have been pissed. But I was so upset in 2015 when freaking Larry Fitzgerald. Holy crap! If there's any Cardinal fans that's gonna throw it out at me, I don't care. You can, because that game, Carson Palmer with Larry Fitzgerald was like almost that Calvin Johnson, Matthew Stafford connection. Very, very strong connection with Carson Palmer. And I swear, if that last tackle, if it wasn't safety, because my guy, Larry Fitzgerald, an outstanding that I was.
Yeah, I think it was cutting out there for a bit. So,
okay, it's back. No, okay. Cardinal fan, I'm impressed with how Arizona has actually transferred from. Well, I mean, early.
It's. Yeah, I mean, I really like what they're doing now. I mean, getting Kyler Murray and really bursting upon the scene this year. I think they were a sleeper team coming into this season, that they could break out. And early on, we've seen it. And I mean, the first game when we played them, a close game, and, they beat us in an upset. So, I mean, they're going to be tough now, and especially with Murray. And for me as a 49ers fan, it's so tough because we've had Wilson in our division all these years now, and now we get Murray as well in the division. So Murray is almost, they play similar in the fact that they're mobile quarterbacks and explosive talent. And our defense has struggled with mobile quarterbacks. So like when we're able to contain, Russell Wilson better and mobile quarterbacks, then we play much better. So let's see, going to try to get to some more comments here. So let's see, Will saying back on. Welcome back, Will. Tough tough loss. But yeah, I'm remaining optimistic with the 49ers, and I believe we'll be able to bounce back, fight for the wild card. He was pretty good quarterback starting through the year when he didn't have any injuries. Yep, I agree. Thank you so much for this, Big E, being real. And yeah, with Jimmy, that's the thing is that this year he has not been healthy. And so I think you throw this year out the door. You look at his performance last year, leading us to the Super Bowl after a torn ACL. You look as a starter, he's 32-7. So when he starts, he wins. He is a game changer. And so, yeah, I'm excited for Jimmy coming back. If he does come back the last couple of games this year. And let's see. Good luck this week. Appreciate that. JD coming from a Cardinals fan. And if you're new to the channel, check out, I have reactions from, the Cardinal game. So earlier from the season. So, appreciate that. Let's see. I respect your team. Also, oldest NFL team in the NFL. Have respect for history and have respect for your team. Thank you so much, Big E. If you're talking about the 49ers here and also Packers, a historic franchise for both of us, me and Josh here, our two teams. And I appreciate this a lot. The history, where it's at. Sorry, were you going to say something real quick?
I was trying to figure out the year. I think it was 1918 or 1916 it was. I swear, the Packers came in after World War I believe it was, the era. That's when Green Bay came out, and Chicago Bears and Detroit, of course. But the Niners, though, the 49ers, yes. That's definitely an old franchise. But the Arizona Cardinals, though, holy crap, that's very old.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Let's see. We're going to get to some more. Got Bach Lava in the house. Welcome to the show. What do you think of the hit on Mullins at the goal line on 4th down? I thought that it might have been above the shoulder hit. And on that play, I thought, I didn't understand it in terms of the game was already out of question, done. And so I did not understand this at all at the end. And quite frankly, I was very frustrated because if Mullins would have got hurt or something, I just would have been really erratic. And some of the hits on Mullins tonight were brutal. He doesn't even, I'm sure he senses the pressure coming, but some of the sacks, it was, but in terms of the hit, I didn't necessarily look at the replay too much on it. So, was it a dirty hit? I don't want to make a definitive comment on the hit, but was it way out of line? I don't think maybe it wasn't way out of line, but I still did not like it very much. Oh, was it? Go.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, and I don't mean to interrupt you or anything at all. But how did the hit kind of go? Because I didn't get a chance to see the hit happen on, was it Mullen?
Yeah, so on the hit, basically, he was coming right at him, and when he went to tackle him, he essentially had lowered his shoulder, and so with his head a little bit, and when he made contact, it looked like kind of a bit above the shoulder area, the hit. So it was. So I feel like it was too unnecessary of a hit because they had him stacked.
Roughing pass. No, roughing the passer or something like that. It shouldn't be it should have been a roughing the passer penalty or something like that.
Yeah, it was called. So but yeah, I think So there wasn't no calls on it. I think we were maybe talking more of if it was a dirty hit or how sometimes it can go. Let's see. Yeah. Will saying going to bed. Have a good night. Thank you so much, Will. Appreciate you checking in and have a great night. And let's see. Gonna get to some more comments here. Sweet. Thank you again, everyone checking in. See, we got Rob. Game should have been postponed. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, for us, the 49ers, this game being postponed, it would have helped. I mean, it would have helped us, and in terms of the, with Bourne getting the false positive yesterday. I mean, look, in this game, if I'm getting this correctly here, but we placed Trent Williams on the COVID list. We also had to place Ayuk on that list. So these are guys that basically now we're finding out today that it was a false positive. So and essentially, these guys should have been active. And would that have changed the outcome of the game? I mean, probably not. I mean, you can't really say how the game would have went. I mean, Packers played a great game tonight. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's sort of weird in that case how that happens because if I'm getting that correctly, we're missing Williams and Ayuk due to them being placed on that list. But yeah, it is what it is, and we're obviously, I'm not gonna make excuses on the game tonight. Yeah, Packers outplayed. Let's see, there was Los Angeles Buccaneers, but they never played in LA. They were the first NFL team. Oh wow! I mean, I'm gonna have to do some research, but if that is true,
I'm too actually because didn't Tampa Bay come in like the 60s or no? Because I knew 70s they were popular because of that Orange Crush jersey, which that brought out the full Buccaneer style. Now everybody, oh my gosh, I don't want to say this. I was actually frustrated with Tampa Bay because Tampa Bay didn't bring out the Crush Orange jersey that totally fit Tampa Bay. Like they basically brought out their freaking classic typical Buccaneers jerseys, and it doesn't. I don't want to say this. I like their other jersey because their other jerseys were much better. It was sharp looking, rather than their newer jerseys. It's shit. It doesn't even look good. The Falcons, I'll give credit in the NFC South for best uniform wise. I'll give them that.
Nice. Let's see. So, gonna get to some more comments here. Oh yeah, I remember watching a video about my first NFL team. Nice, or about the first NFL team. And Matthew saying at least at least y'all not as toxic like other. Yeah, I mean, I think with every fan base, to be fair, I think we all have toxic fans in the fan base. But I do believe that some fan bases are worse than others. I think that is true. Yeah. And so, but yeah, you appreciate all the respectful fans of all the teams out there. And yeah, I've met a lot of nice fans all over.
Was it fans I've seen on YouTube in the past? It was 4 years ago or something. It was one game that I saw this person comment. It was a player's performance. It was, and of course I couldn't help but laugh because it was this guy had a profile picture of Antonio Brown with the touchdown dance on the what do they call those things? So the field goal kick.
The field goal post.
Goal post. So I couldn't help but laugh, but. This guy was an absolute savage, and I had counted about 6 Packer fans. There was like legit 6 Packer fans so pissed, and I'm like, is this really how people are in Wisconsin? I mean, because hell, I don't live in Wisconsin. I live in Minnesota, and yes, I've actually experienced rude people from Wisconsin on social media and shit. But
man, I'm sorry about that.
Oh no worries. It's all good. We're used to it. Minnesota. Wisconsin, why do you think we're a rivalry? Why do we hate each other? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, they take it personally. There's actually Packer fans that get pretty toxic to where they take it so freaking personal. It's not even funny. Like hell, I don't take things like super personal. I don't take things super far because in the end, what I love more is I love football. Like I love football no matter what, whether Packers lose so many damn times and we don't get in playoffs or Super Bowl, I'll be a Packer fan even if they suck. And yeah, Packers do suck. I mean, you can't always have a perfect team. Don't mean I'm a bandwagon. It's just the truth. Packers suck. I don't care. Doesn't stop me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
well said. And in terms of it's when you're talking about the rivalry and yeah, it's really intriguing to get in the perspective, with you living out there
yeah,
and
Midwest.
hearing what it's like and your experiences. And let's see, let's gonna get to some more comments. Appreciate everyone checking in. Let's see, Christopher, I was 10 years old in 1999, watching Niners versus Packers at Candlestick when the catch to happen in the final seconds from Steve Young to Terrell Owens.
Oh my God.
So loud. Oh my, wow. I love watching this highlight. This
I
is one of
forgot
the
to mention
highlights.
about that. Was that the one with the Terrell Owens that
Yep.
goes cheerleaders?
It was third and I want to say third and 2, or no, third and 3 again, because I know Vernon Davis, the catch against the Saints and with Alex Smith, that moment, and then it was the third catch. So the first catch, Dwight Clark against the Cowboys. Rest in peace, Dwight Clark. And so, man, these memories, just incredible. But yeah, well, real quick before I get to some more comments, you wanted to say a few things about this game.
What?
Oh no, I was gonna say you had something to say about this game.
About that game, the 49ers and Packers to catch one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say this. No, I remember watching a highlight and I was of course one because I'm 22 years old, but actually 22 and a half. But didn't the Packers go into overtime? It was, and then Steve Young got the ball and they won it in OT, or that not happen?
I think it was actually at the end of regulation. So I want to say, yeah, there was probably like 5-6 seconds on the clock. Basically, it was the last play. It was third and 3, and they got a touchdown and basically went up by 3. And at that point, the game was over because no time left.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, so I, it was like a last. I think I knew it was like a last second play, but that now that I think about that, I remember the touchdown dance celebration and the cheerleading because I was like, oh my God, that had to be the game that I've been seeing the highlights with Terrell Owens and the cheerleaders using the pom poms. I was like, oh, why can't we can't have the NFL look like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want old style football back so bad. We all want that. We want that hard hitting, no penalties. Oh my gosh, football would seriously be at its best if we had the old style. Everybody.
Yeah, go ahead. My bad.
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, it's tough because I feel like the safety of the game is the most important thing.
Yes.
So, like for me, although I would love to see the hard hits like that, I feel like when you're talking about guys' lives, I'm as we know, concussions and the long-term effects of that, I feel like the safety, obviously, without a doubt, way more important. And so, I mean, yeah, I think it's great, the game trying to become more safe. And I think even the helmets, I think, are better now than how they used to be. Like, they're more protective now. So, there are a lot of great things going on. And so we are definitely going over here on the show, and I love it because when we do that, it means we're having a blast that we don't even realize how fast the time is flying by. But yeah, I want to get to all of these comments before we wrap up.
I've always wanted to be. I seriously have always wanted to be in a football community, and I've never gotten a chance to do that because all my I don't really have much football friends. I have more guys. I have more people that are into cars and all that. And I'm not a car enthusiast. Cars is not my life. My truck is point A to point B. But of course,
I'm like you. That's how I am, to be honest. I'm not a car guy. Go ahead, but yeah.
There's those people that will say crap about football because I've been, I'm a football guy. And, I'll choose football over cars. And then they'll be like, well, football is so boring and blah blah. And then I actually told one time. I said, have you personally put yourself on a football field and actually envision yourself playing? Because then, they're like, well, have you ever tried getting your hands like I'm like, no, because I don't want to do that shit. That it's boring. I'd rather be out in the field tossing the ball. And they'd say, well, it's so boring. It's like, it's not boring. Dude, like football, here's the thing. Football teaches you everything about life. It's like whether you play high school football, I'd say high school football versus like Pee Wee. Pee Wee football is the way you want to start, but then high school football is when you really understand why this game is special, because the brotherhood, the fact that it's family, it's life, it's absolutely teaching you life decisions, situations and what you would do. And you got to be prepared for the outcomes. You got to be prepared for like the consequences, So that's why I love football, and football changed my life, you know? So, I'm whether or not I'm a car person, I ain't a car person. I never will be. But, there's just those rude people. They just freaking try to bring you down just because you like sports. Yeah, I like sports. Doesn't mean I have to like what you like.
Yeah.
Bash on what I like.
Man, great story right there. And I really like, you brought up, the life decision. In football, you make a lot of tough decisions, and just like in life, and you go through so much. And even as a fan, like I said, we see and we feel everything that, and that goes on with these players, and we're there with them, supporting them through everything. And me having played baseball growing up and being around, the environment of having coaches supporting you. I mean, there's nothing better than that. I mean, my childhood was the best it was ever, thanks to playing sports, so much fun. And one thing I wish, though, is that when I was younger, I wish I wouldn't have taken the game too seriously. Like I overthought too many things, and I worried like what people thought about me. And since I've gotten older and matured, what I've learned, is that when you're playing sports, you can't worry about what people are going to think about you. People are going to have an opinion no matter what. The only thing that you can control is how much hard work you're putting in. And, then you go out there and compete. So, between the next game that you play or whatever, you control the amount of work you put in. And then when you're out on the field, you just leave it all out there. And so many things in overcoming in life. And like one of the quotes I love is, hard work beats talent when talent won't work hard. And you see it in sports. You see guys that have made the money, and then their play level drops off. They maybe lose the motivation. They're not playing for that big payday no more. They've made the money, and maybe they're not on a winning team, so it's easy for them to not play to their potential. But then you see guys that are hungry no matter how much winning they've done, or you see guys that aren't necessarily the most talented, but because they're putting so much work in the gym and working out, that they're actually, becoming known. And it's incredible to see. Let's see, to get to more comments. Rob saying, I'd like to see Mullins learn to use his feet. I agree with this take. And I thought today Mullins, he was just kind of putting throws in bad windows, coverages, and, looked rattled out there sometimes. And again, I know our offensive line, we're missing Williams, and the offensive line has been shaky this year for us. And so, it's tough out there. But Mullins, I think he's still got to learn to improve there. And let's see, to get to some more comments. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's see here.
Ask you a question about Mullins real quick.
Yeah.
Was Mullins a rookie quarterback?
So no, actually, he's been in the league now he came 2018, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember seeing him in 2017, but his first game I'll never forget. It was Battle of the Bay, 49ers Raiders, and he torched the Raiders. I think it was 3 touchdowns, and we won 34-3, beating them back in 2018. So yeah, Mullins, that was incredible. And that year, he started some games and did well. But this year, he's just been way too inconsistent. Because we see few glimpses of him being great, but then more often than not, I mean, it's just been a struggle.
Was that game that that Brett Favre called right after? I swear. I remember. Now that you're talking about the Raiders and 49ers game, I remember Mullins now had a call with Brett Favre or something on the phone. I think I don't know, it was like a post game or something. It was a post game interview because Brett Favre had called him and congratulating him on his performance and all that because he wore number 4. So of course, Brett Favre had to be watching that game, and of course he was proud of that kid.
Man, yeah, you're right. I remember hearing about that, and I don't know if it's because maybe he has some ties to Brett Favre. He might have to check that, but that I forgot about that though. How he is number 4, and so man, that was a big moment for Mullins, and so yeah, I'm hoping he can turn it around. I think. I don't know what Shanahan's going to do if he's going to go to Bedford for this next game, or Mullins will remain the starter. So
you guys got some interesting quarterbacks because I was reading an article or something, and damn, I mean, I truly feel sorry for you guys because my question is this: what if Mullins gets injured? What if he gets injured and something happens, and then you got to put in your third string quarterback that's now your second string in this situation? How much experience is he? You know what I'm saying? Like your backup.
So, well, yeah, Bedford is actually pretty good. So we've had him, for several years as well, just like Mullins. And when Bedford's played, he's actually done pretty good. And so I think with Bedford and Mullins, and so I know since you don't follow the 49ers consistently, with the two of them, so I mean, it's been kind of back and forth. Mullins would be ahead on the depth chart, and I remember Shanahan, after I think it was when Mullins played very bad against the Eagles, he moved Bedford to be the backup. And the reason that Mullins got into the game last week was because Bedford wasn't healthy. So Bedford wasn't able to play last week. So Mullins was actually the third string last week, and that's how he got put in. So because of that, and because Bedford has shown glimpses as well of doing well, and Bedford almost led us back in that Eagles game to a win. I would like to see Bedford, we'll see what happens. I think we've seen enough of a small sample size with Mullins that right now, he still needs to learn. And I think right now, if we want to win some games still, I think Bedford right now maybe gives a bit more chance to win. But yeah, again, because Mullins today did not play very well. But yeah.
Bedford, then honestly, if you know from your previous games and his performances, and if you know that's going to help your team, I'd use him.
So why are we going with Mullins if Bedford could be the better option? Is that what you're saying? Kind of.
Yeah, yes, I'm trying to kind of get at that. Why would you choose Mullins if you guys have? If Kyle Shanahan personally has actually took, I'm not saying Kyle doesn't look at this kid's highlights, but I'm saying is this: Kyle Shanahan obviously knows how he played. So why don't you just actually seriously say, okay, here's the deal. We are going to use I'm sorry, what's the name?
Mullins and Bedford.
Okay, so why not use Bedford in this game based off of his performance, and then you got to compare. You got to do this in football. You got to compare the highlights a little bit to your other quarterback's performance and say, okay, we do not want that, in this Sunday's game. We need to have a quarterback that actually can do the job and can actually help win games for his football team. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking you got to really dig deep and analyze more into players' depth and their ratings and all that, because their ratings are going to change every week, every Sunday. After Sunday and you go into Monday and you go into ESPN, you're going to get all these players' analysis and ratings and all that, power rankings. You're going to get all of that. And even if it's not on the ESPN or, whatever you guys get in San Francisco for your guys' network, you'll obviously see the ratings and the stats. So you got to obviously pay enough attention to the stats, the highlights, and the ratings. I would do that if I was a coach, because if I'm like Matt LaFleur, and let's say Aaron Rodgers has a sucky week and we put Jordan Love in, and Jordan Love played better than Aaron Rodgers, I wouldn't say we bench Aaron Rodgers. We would obviously give him another chance. But if we start seeing a different performance from Jordan Love within the past few weeks, then we're going to put Jordan Love in game situations. We're going to take Rodgers out, and we're going to put Jordan Love in rather than having to keep Aaron Rodgers performing poorly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think need to do that.
And so I think with Mullins, we probably are at that situation where today's game was one of those games where, you're continuing with the Mullins experiment, because you're basing it by game. So like with Mullins, the Eagles game, he did not play well. So then again, like we said, he falls to third on the depth chart. And then we didn't get to see him play again until the Seattle game. And then that game, he actually did pretty well and, helped us come back in the second half.
I saw that.
Based off his performance against Seattle and with Bedford not having been healthy for that game, I feel like Mullins' performance earned him the start for tonight against Green Bay. Yeah. And so, but now having Mullins, since he did poorly tonight, I think, it's a tough situation because, when you're thinking about who do we start next Sunday, I would like to see Bedford, but, you could see the other argument with Mullins that, why not still give him another chance? Like, see if he can discover, what he's been so successful for him. And so, I don't have the numbers right in front of me. Like you said, I'm sure, Shanahan is they're tracking all the stats very, very well. And also, you learn how, there's other stats that you don't necessarily always see. Like, does a guy have great leadership, composure, and carry himself well out there? And it's going to be intriguing. I mean, this quarterback debate, and especially as we know at the end of the year, the biggest question is like, is this 49ers team with a shrinking salary cap? As we know, all the NFL, because the revenue is going to be way off this season, with no fans and stuff, I think $40 million of payroll is probably going to get cut from the salary, I think, or maybe a little bit less than that. I don't know, but it's still going to be a lot. And you're going to have to make that tough decision. Do you bring Jimmy back and pay him the $25 million? Because right now, Jimmy, he's got paid all his guaranteed money. So right now, Niners could walk away at the end of this year and not have to pay him the rest of the money on the contract.
Now, my question is this too as well. But Mullins, now I know we want to get to people's comments because I'm actually curious as to what people are saying. But real quick thing, I want to know is what's Mullins' weakness? Because I feel like I'm not saying the kid's not experienced enough from his few years, like the 3 years he's been in the NFL. I'm not saying he's not, but I wish he had that style. He had more experience and more reps, because I could see him having that mobility type. I could see him having that half Colin Kaepernick scheme a little bit, just a little half, because he looks like one of those quarterbacks that would kind of scramble around the pocket a lot and, take off for yards. Like, I see him more of as a a passer, like one of those quarterbacks that can throw it deep. Like I'm not like just like saying it out of the blue. I'm actually envisioning it because I think what he needs is the more training, more of that one-on-one walkthroughs and
Mhm.
discussing how do you manage game situations and how do you really bring that leadership out when you're coming out on a drive. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah, and great take on that. You know, I can totally see those. You know, see that playing out with Mullins, and I agree. I mean, you know, I do think he's got that ability. You know, to make those long throws, and with him, you know, if he can get better at managing the game,
Yeah.
and also like you said, you know, with him is getting the getting reps and um, yeah, and I like what you said about how he kind of reminds you a little bit of like Colin in the
Guys in a
fact
way.
that yeah, like a little bit where he can run and be mobile, and I do see that he's very athletic. So that you really love to see that in a young quarterback. And yeah,
Yes.
he's still only 25, so he's the same age as me right now. So I do think Mullins. Yeah, I think there is a lot of potential, and it's going to be tough because I mean, you know, will he get enough games to show that he can do that? Or
Right.
will we go to Bedford here and then Bedford will kind of run away with the starting job? So I hope we get a chance to see more of Mullins and, that he'll come through. Yeah.
Wasn't Mullins the backup for Colin Kaepernick that he took over in
Um,
2007? Because
no,
Kaepernick,
I don't think so. I think Kaepernick was, I think he left after the 2016 season, and we got Mullins 2017. I might be wrong there. I have to check when Mullins was drafted. But yeah, let's get to the comments. So yeah, it's starting to get late here. Sorry, everyone. Apologize if I didn't get to your comments.
we get you
But
see, we get so deep into football. This is why when you hook up with a football enthusiast like me, I get really in depth into football like crazy. That's why. That's also actually one of the reasons why I'm looking at being a coach for high school next year, high school football. I'm gonna try to go.
man, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
I can really see you doing well at that. You know, your knowledge of the game and being able to relate well with people. Especially, I mean, relationships are the so big. We see it. Sports teams that have kept good chemistry, they have a good culture, winning culture. It's all about the team mindset, not for yourself. And so, yeah, it is absolutely incredible. So let's see here. We're gonna get to some more comments. Let's see. No league is immune from cheating. There has been all kinds of players and refs that try to influence games with point shade. Not saying it's huge. Okay, yeah, I agree, Christopher, with your take here. Yeah, I do think maybe refs are paid and sometimes plays go different. And so, I mean, I think it has it happened. I would say maybe it has. Because. We don't know. So I'm not saying for sure it has, but I can see where you're coming at from there about that. So it does, I've even heard people say that they won't watch sports because they say it's all rigged, that this championship's always rigged and they always make the team that will make the most money win. And so, I've heard that take, but I don't believe that. But yeah, it's
I don't see rig happening in much sports nowadays. I was gonna say real fast. Do you guys remember Blaine Gabbert? That was the backup quarterback for Colin Kaepernick.
Oh yeah, yeah
Yeah, because Mullins was that undrafted quarterback. I just looked him up.
So in 2016, you're saying?
Yeah, the 2016 season that had Blaine Gabbert because Gabbert got traded to the 49ers from the Jaguars. Because the Jaguars got that what was it? They got that quarterback. Oh my gosh.
Blake Bortles, I think it was, right?
Blake Bortles. And that was actually a pretty good quarterback for Jacksonville since David Garrard. I don't even know how I can say that name. But Guard, I remember seeing him play, and that guy was actually pretty good. He wasn't bad. But he wasn't like a top 10. I mean, I'm just saying he was good for Jaguars, so the Jaguars.
All right, yeah, you're right, and it's intriguing. I mean, talking about the different quarterbacks, it's when you've been watching football for a long time, it's kind of cool to, like right now, like me and you, we're in our 20s now. We can like look back at the last decade, like 10 years, and see,
yes.
Like how much the game has changed or evolved, how much talent is in the league now. And yeah, like here getting to some more comments. Shadow Heart Mick Kittle looks like a giant to Buddha. Yeah, I love this. Buddha for Arizona. What a beast that guy is. And man, I cannot believe the play from Metcalf from the Seahawks catching up to Buddha Baker on the interception. I mean, that dude Metcalf is a beast with Seattle. So, that's just showing you never quit on the play. So crazy how Buddha, he probably, for him feeling Metcalf tackling must have felt so weird because, I had to imagine his body. That was the last thing it was thinking in that moment. Let's see. Niners need to draft the QB out of BYU. Zach Wilson. He reminds me a ton of Russell Wilson. Wow. I haven't heard that name, but I'm going to have to check it out. Just
Zach
to see.
Wilson, I've never heard of it either. I've only heard so far of the Ohio quarterback. And then there's an NDSU quarterback that these are like the college football players right now because it's going to be in the draft. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence, if I can give a quick thought in my mind, I swear this kid. So I read an article that he wants to stay at Clemson because he doesn't want to play for the Jets. I don't know if that's actually true, but I actually could see the Jets legit getting him first round because the Jets are obviously, I feel like they're going to have the first round pick.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be New York getting Trevor Lawrence. Oh, shit. Hey, Travis, I know we're like so into this stream and stuff. It is 3 minutes to 1 o'clock in the morning. And oh, never mind. I thought I have a little internet thing that goes off at 1:30. So actually, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
1:30. No, we're good.
So let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, it reminded me to check my laptop battery. So yeah, we're good right here. But yeah, we're gonna be wrapping up here shortly, Josh. But before we do, and we get to some closing statements here, just want to read through some comments.
We can talk about what people are saying.
Fan, I've been with them ups and downs. Stand with the 49ers. Yep, absolutely. Tyler, big time supporter here and love it. And, forever in doubt all the years. Even I remember the 2-14 49ers season. I remember those 2 wins against the Rams. I went crazy for them. Watched it with my best friend, and we had some great times. Never forget the Kaepernick touchdown versus the Packers with the biceps during the Super Bowl run. Oh, man, yeah. I remember that. What a memory with Kaepernick there. And let's see, continuing to get to some comments here. See, I apologize if I don't get to everyone. Let's see. Wonder if this one. Wonder if the Saints will keep Taysom Hill to be next in line for Drew Brees. He's fun to watch, but I don't see him as a top quarterback. Maybe the Niners will get Jameson Winston if the Saints give him intriguing. I've heard and seen a little bit of Taysom Hill, but I don't know enough to make an opinion on whether I think he can be, a top quarterback potentially.
Gosh. I'm sorry. That now that you say about Taysom Hill in the starting, I want to say this, but the Saints are going to put Taysom Hill as a starter when Drew Brees retires. If you guys, so if any of you guys remember the rookie season of Taysom Hill and how big of a difference he drove down the field, even against the 49ers last year, and how he really built that pocket knife scheme that he had. You know, that guy is New Orleans' future. Taysom Hill. I love watching with what he can do. A dangerous weapon to have. And I want to say this. I wish the Niners had that. I wish the 49ers had a Taysom Hill style.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't seen a whole lot of Taysom Hill, but from the way it sounds like, and again, like how explosive our offense is, and Shanahan with this playbook, and I feel like, you put quarterbacks in and you play to their skill sets, and also bringing everyone in on the offense, you really get rolling. So, it's going to be, this whole quarterback debacle, real quick to give my whole take on, Jimmy moving forward and things. I think my whole thing is that, look, I know that I think paying him the $25 million might be doing too much, especially when, if you think, can he stay healthy? Can he, continue to play at a high level? And for me, look, I feel like he's proven enough based off the season last year. And, it wasn't just leading us to the Super Bowl, but several games, he let it come from behind victories, or, he outdueled Drew Brees in the shootout, and then even against the Seahawks, we outdueled Russell Wilson, and even the game we lost to them, it was close. And so, Jimmy has proven, and like I said, his starter record as a starter, 32-7, I think it is. And so if you ask me, look, I feel like he can lead us and be that man, but at the end, we'll see what happens. Cause I feel like it might be harder for the Niners to keep him if, let's say, he doesn't play at all for the rest of this year. So, I feel like the Niners do want to see how he does at the end of the year. And I'm hoping, and I think we will be in the playoff hunt. And at that point, I think if Jimmy can play the last couple games and can hopefully get into some rhythm and we'll go into the playoffs, that is the best case scenario. But if Jimmy doesn't play this year, then I think it makes it a tough decision. But either way, there's going to be consequences. There's going to be pros and cons.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, if we bring Jimmy back next year, he could have a career year. We could win the Super Bowl, and then we could, the 49ers can say, yeah, we made the right decision keeping Garoppolo under contract. But yeah, then obviously if things don't work out, then, we'll have people saying, oh, they should have went and got a quarterback or drafted one. But yeah, if you ask me, I'm rolling with Jimmy next year. So that's what I think will, right now. But until, until my mind has changed, and I think I would have to see Jimmy still, if he still continues to not be able to stay healthy or produce, and then, yeah, I feel like, then it would probably be more of a discussion to say, all right, we're going to move on here. But really interesting is, Steve Young. I think he said back on before Monday Night Football that he didn't see a situation that Jimmy comes back next year. In large part due to the fact that, he might not play really again this year. And again, the $25 million that he's going to be paid. And then you have the salary cap that's getting lower. So, yeah,
it's a tough decision.
Oh, was it?
No, I was trying to say that's like a tough decision. Now you can finish up, and then I was going to give you an intake on what I think of Jimmy G overall, but I'll let you go ahead and finish that.
Oh no, I was actually finished there, so I'm ready to get your intake on it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you my intake on Jimmy G. So let's go back a little bit to 2017. I want to say, because I think that's when that's personally when Jimmy Garoppolo got that starting job after Colin Kaepernick left. Was it 2017 that he came to San Francisco?
Yeah, so 2017. Kaepernick actually wasn't on the 2017 team, I believe. Or no, he might. I'm not sure. I'm kind of. But
he was placed on a hold or something like that. He was placed on a hold because of that. Because of his actions, the racism stuff, which now we all understand why Colin Kaepernick was doing that movement on the field, the kneeling, which I completely understand. But I want to say this. I think when Jimmy Garoppolo came to the 49ers that first year in 2017, it totally gave the 49ers that new style, and it kind of took away that scheme that I loved. I loved so much from 2012 to 2016 that you guys had. Like, I'm not going to lie, I loved the 49ers from 2012 to 2016 because of Colin Kaepernick and the Jim Harbaugh style. Oh my God, that was the definition of what the 49ers were, basically. But now I'm not saying it completely took it away. The 49ers absolutely still had that dangerous look. But Jimmy Garoppolo, he actually, now that I think about it, he has actually helped the 49ers transform. And I personally am hoping that he actually can come back within your last few games of this season because he's like that only hope the 49ers have. And I want to say this, but I really hope Kittle can come back in the playoffs because he's out for 8 weeks, is it?
Yeah, it's going to be about 8 weeks.
January, basically. So we would be able to see Kittle. We'd be able to see Kittle maybe in a Packers versus 49ers playoff. Now, I want to say this, to be honest. It might be a Packers versus 49ers divisional playoffs because you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Everybody's going to be saying this. This is going to be between the Buccaneers and the Seattle Seahawks, but this could actually be the Buccaneers and the Green Bay Packers. Like, not just saying that just because I'm a Packer fan. It's because I'm going off of my analytics. But I could see San Francisco going into January. I could see them actually looking like the team we Packer fans, we wanted to see tonight because I wanted to see that aggressiveness. I wanted to see that hardcore smash mouth football, like, because that's what they were last year. I swear.
Yeah.
I watched the film, the sound effects. Oh my gosh, that was too fun to watch.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see that team. I loved your guys' style and Jimmy Garoppolo. If paying him $25 million, I don't know what good is that gonna do. But I think you got to ask this: if you're the general manager of the 49ers, I'd say this: what are the outcomes of your guys' future? What's it gonna look like? And again, I like how you brought up his health status, because that is true. Jimmy Garoppolo, yeah, he has been out because of, lack of staying healthy and all that and injuries. But I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say let's jump the gun and let's draft a quarterback like Zach Wilson, which like I said, I don't even know Zach Wilson, but I wouldn't jump the gun as a general manager for the 49ers and say, we got to get rid of Garoppolo. I'd say just keep what you got, and then the offseason you can look at a free agent that is like sort of like a veteran quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my gosh, you guys remember Michael Vick?
Oh yeah.
If I'm just saying this, if you guys had Michael Vick, if there was a Michael Vick free agency available on market right now, and you guys are in store for a better quarterback in the future, imagine taking Michael Vick. I want to say you could pay Michael Vick I'd say maybe a $30 million contract, and he plays with the 49ers for let's say 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm thinking of what if there was a veteran quarterback like a Michael Vick type.
Yeah, and you're right. It could be a possibility.
RG3.
Oh, was it?
RG3 should be out free agent from Baltimore. I'm not saying he's out right now, but I think some point he's going to be released from Baltimore because Zach, he's not getting any playing time stuff. I think you guys should get RG3, to be honest.
Like as a veteran quarterback?
Veteran quarterback, and we all know when he played for the Washington Redskins, that guy was dangerous coming out of Baylor. And I watched this. I remember I was ecstatic about watching RG3 from Baylor. But when he won the Heisman and all that, you know, I knew that player was going to be dangerous. In his first season of Washington, oh, yeah, everybody said that was a Michael Vick 2.0. But not so much anymore. But he's got that mobility, and he's got the definition of what the 49ers need. What the 49ers are is a basic, typical quarterback, kind of fast-moving team that will zigzag you with passes or a scramble. They like to pull teams because you got
Debo and especially Samuel. You know, it's it is
the hell out of me last year in the 2012. You did.
So yeah, you're right. I like a lot of your takes, and what I'll say, you know, is that I think you're right in terms of, you know, when you were looking at Jimmy G. You know, look, I feel like you give him another year. So I think it's not the time yet to jump the gun and, you know, say, all right, we're going to draft a quarterback and all that. I think you give it another season, see how it plays out next year. And then, you know, make another decision at the end of next season and then go from there. So I feel like it's way too early now because I think, you know, who's to say you don't get rid of him now? He joins another team and then it goes off and, you know, plays lights out the next 10 years or so. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see how it's going to play out. But yeah, we're going to be wrapping up the stream here, but wanted to get to a few more last comments. Thank you again so much, everyone checking in. And yeah, I really want to apologize that if I wasn't able to get to all your comments. Really appreciate everyone checking in. Let's see. Welcome to come on for some 49er or NBA talk anytime. Stoked for the Notre Dame versus Clemson game this Saturday and looking forward to NBA Xmas start. NBA trades about to get interesting. Oh, yeah, it's going to be cannot wait for the NBA playoffs and the NBA season coming. Let's see here. Lynch and Kyle will get a great quarterback out of this 2021 draft class. Keep an eye on Justin Fields of Ohio State, Mac Jones of Bama, and Zach Wilson of BYU. Oh, wow. Let me see. Let me write down these things.
Wait, hold on. Lynch? Who's Lynch?
Hold on. So we got Justin Fields. We got Mac Jones. So let's see. Mac Jones. Wow. Yeah, you know, so I mean, yeah, we also could go that route too. I mean, draft a quarterback if it's in the later rounds next year. So even, you know, we can bring Jimmy back, but also draft in a quarterback to see how that could go. But we'll see. Let's see. Colin Kaepernick. Hands down for me, I think this is definitely one of my all-time favorite memories, especially being in high school at the time and remembering that game. Let's see. We've got Matthew here in the house. Welcome. He says Niners aren't making the playoffs with these injuries. Trading Quan was also a good idea. Yeah, I think we are going to make the playoffs. Still, even though it is a long shot, I think with the expanded playoffs, that we can be a wild card team. And yeah, the Alexander move, I did like that deal. You know, we're saving a decent chunk of salary, and since we're going into, you know, where the salary cap's going to be lowered significantly, that's going to be huge. And yeah, we did get a player back in that deal, you know, average player. So we'll see what he can do. And I believe we also got a draft pick back. So overall, I thought it was a pretty good trade. And with Quan, you know, look, he was a phenomenal leader and he was terrific for us. But the problem with him was, you know, he just could not stay healthy. He played in 5 games this year, so he was healthy this year, but played in 13 last year. Let's see. As a 49ers fan, Jameis Winston is a huge pass. Way too many interceptions. Yeah, so yeah, I agree with that. I think, I mean, I haven't seen Winston a lot, but the little bit that I know of him, I don't know if he would be. Yeah. Let's see. So cooked highlights. Appreciate you. All good. Let's see. Going to bed. Have a great night. We will see you later. Cooked highlights. And let's see. And get to some few more last comments here. Let's see.
Travis, do you know any good college wide receivers that I think the 49ers should look at? Because I feel like there's a few college wide receivers that can give you guys this the style that you guys have always had with wide receivers going and like making big plays. Because I've always noticed that about San Francisco is they've been very well known to have those deep threat wide receivers like the Vernon Davis, obviously, well, Terrell Owens, but Manuel Sanders. There was Doug Baldwin. No, Bolden.
Oh
No,
yeah, and we picked up Bolden towards the late end of his career, and yeah, I love the receivers we have now. I mean, to get Ayuk this year, that was one of the most exciting picks that I felt like we got. The way he plays, yards after the catch, and Deebo Samuel plays just like that. Yards after catch, amazing receiver, and then you got Kittle, of course, in this offense. He's completely redefining the tight end position. Best run blocker. It always plays till the very end, every play. And Kittle, man, I mean, no one can tackle that man. And I've said this year that for me, I think George Kittle is the best player in the NFL right now, and that's my opinion. But that's what I believe, and I think there's a lot of exciting talent, young talent in the game right now. I know Metcalf with Seattle, he's been insane. But right now, I got Kittle since he's come into the league in 2017. I mean, we're in his fourth year now. I mean, the numbers he's put up, he beat Jerry Rice's record in terms of how many games they played to their first 250 catches. And so, yeah, I mean, I love watching Kittle, and yeah, I got his jersey, so I got it back in January this year. Just amazing. So, but I want to get to this comment. Was at the Sunday night football game last season. Weird to see the Giants Niners flag where, and I, let's see, and I said to sold out. Oh yeah, I mean, when you're thinking about how things are now, it is it is almost surreal. Even for me, I mean, I went to the 49er Vikings playoff game, and yeah, I mean, crazy to think being just in the stadium full of people like that, and obviously how we move into now how things are this year. Just a huge change of things. Let's see. Niners should go after Odell Beckham Jr. I would. I mean, I would love if we can get him if the price is not too high.
Did you not hear about the Packers possibly getting Odell?
I didn't hear about that.
We were supposed to get All right, so we were supposed to get OBJ back in September. There was talk about Odell Beckham Jr. potential Packers trade, but that someone I don't know who it was, but someone tweeted out that he actually had talked to Aaron Rodgers, and the fact that he likes to be able to get a ton of like playing time on the field, and he wants the ball. Like, I think he wants to be on a team that wins, but that was when Cleveland was they were losing so much. It could have been last year, but I swear it was this year again. There was talk in the media that Odell would have went to Green Bay, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just like the whole Antonio. Now, that was an actual thing. That we were tempted to get Antonio Brown, but we just, oh my God, we did not get freaking Fuller from the Texans. We were supposed to pick him up. No, the freaking I think it was a salary cap or something had to play a role in it, and I was pissed because I watched his highlights last night and I was like, why the hell didn't you get him? Like, God, stupid. Again, but again, I go back to what you were saying when we were talking about the Garoppolo, and how do we handle him? If you're paying him $25 million, I got to think the Green Bay Packers salary cap, in the space, and our guys that we're paying, and Aaron Rodgers, of course. So you got to think of how much will it affect, It's almost like trying to buy something. You got to think, do you have the money? Are you able to get him? It's like spending stuff on a toy.
Yeah. And that's what makes this game fun, is that there's not unlimited salary caps. So, I think in some sports they have unlimited salary caps. So, I mean, I think it's better when it's restricted to certain amounts, because that way I feel like you don't want to give too much of a fair of an advantage for more teams that have more money. So, it really makes it the chess match, when you're talking about, okay, let's say we have 50 million to spend. Do you want to spend it on one guy, or do you want to spend it on three guys, three minor players that might have bigger effects? But then you also run into the situation where you might not go out and get like a top B or top A guy free agent, but then you sign maybe 3 C ranked free agents, and then those 3 guys don't even perform. And then you're left wishing, we should have just spent a big amount to get a guaranteed guy that we know is going to produce. So, yeah, I mean, you never can know. And also with teams and how you never know how guys are going to play out, how healthy, if they can stay healthy and continue to play at a high level. And so we're going to be wrapping up here shortly. My laptop is going to be dying, so don't want that to happen.
I got 8 minutes left and then my internet is down.
Yeah, so before we wrap up here, I wanted to say again, thank you everyone checking into the stream, and thank you so much, Josh, coming on to the channel.
Yes, thank you,
really enjoyed having you on, and man, this conversation, we'll be able to rewatch this conversation over the years, and there's so much great content that we discussed tonight. And so,
like another stream of like football or something. Like, I think this is a great post game wrap up, and then we talk about the history of football. I think we should do more content like this. And I know, like I said, I don't make videos on my channel, but I would actually be down to maybe if I make a YouTube video or something, I could invite you to my channel. But of course, I got 0 subscribers, so. But I wouldn't mind coming to this channel and doing football streams. I will talk football any day.
Yeah, definitely really pumped to have you come on to more streams. And
absolutely,
what we'll do, what I'm thinking is probably best, probably during, maybe we'll do some things in the off season, and also playoff games. I might we can do some post game shows, and not necessarily every show. So I kind of like to
show, but
mix it up. Sometimes I like to do sometimes have guests on, sometimes do the show solo. So yeah, definitely really excited to have you come on to do more shows, and
absolutely, I'd be down to do that with you.
So yeah, thank you so much, Josh. Just, man, this was really fun tonight. And again, I want to apologize to everyone in the comment section for, again, wasn't trying to ignore the comments, just was really into going through our conversation. And when you got those points in your head, you kind of you get rolling, and
I seriously and I apologize, Travis, if I swear I don't mean to do this intentionally, but if I cut you off a few times, I am so sorry about that. It's just because my mind thinks football so much. I am very, very in depth into football. Like, there's actually people that are like, that will say this kid is like a football freak, kind of. But well, that's what happens. I'm a football enthusiast. I can't help myself.
Yeah,
I was gonna
and you know, I
say that.
totally get it because I know how you feel. Because you know, when you hear something and you know we're going through comments and you know you
Yeah,
want to share like your thought because you have it right there, and so
of
you know
course.
I totally understand. So you know you don't have to worry about apologizing. You know, really awesome show today and had so much fun. So thank you so much, Josh.
Absolutely.
And again, you know, best of luck to your Packers the rest of the
Yeah,
year
best of luck
and
to you.
really hoping you know that we see you guys again in the playoffs. So that would be something.
Oh, yeah, you guys come to our house. You guys got to come to Green Bay because we're sick and tired of going to freaking San Francisco. Although I will say this, it is gorgeous down there. And personally, I've never been to San Francisco, but I know when you come to the Midwest, your question is this: can you handle the cold? Now, Wisconsin. Now, here's the thing: Wisconsin cold is not as bad, but Minnesota cold, we are the coldest state in the U.S.
Okay,
Whereas,
sorry, my laptop's gonna die here, so we're gonna. I don't mean to cut you off there, but any last words here before we wrap up?
nope, I'm good. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. We will see
Yep.
you next time, and hit that thumbs up if you haven't. And thank you
Oh,
so much. And also, I will leave if you want to check out Josh, his Instagram. He
yes,
does football posts and occasionally sometimes does some car posts. But if you
I'm
want
not.
to stay in touch with him there, you know, check him out. I'll leave a description to
Yeah.
his Instagram. And so, yeah, we will see you guys next time.
Thank you guys
Thank you
so much.
so much and have a great night, everyone. Take care.